us. So he's riding on a goat because he is carrying away the sins of the world. To God be the glory. Look at how much God carried away out of your life. He carried away stuff out of your life that you have been guilty about, that you have been worried about, that you have been turmoil about. God has carried away. Since God has carried it away, why are you still carrying it? I'm going to ask you over here. Since God has carried it away, why are you still carrying it? Slap somebody and tell them it's gone. He carried it away. He carried it away. They slapped him and sent him into the wilderness. They carried him away. He got on the goat and carried it to the cross. And on the cross, he nailed to the cross every ordinance that was ever against me. Every curse, every witch, every hex. That's why I ain't scared of none of you witches in here. Because all of your spells are nailed to the cross. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. I wish I had some warring saints in here. Let the warring saints make some noise. Let the warring saints make some noise.
Listen, I needed this today. Let's get into it. What? Drum up the music, please. Thank you. Needed a little inspo today because I needed that to remember that if I gave things to God, I gotta stop picking them up. Don't we all struggle with that? Like, we give things to God, then we pick it up again, then we give it to God, then we pick it up again. And every day I need a reminder that I gave this to God. He's carrying it away, so I gotta let it go. But it is so hard in this feeble flesh. But I have to remind myself for when I'm weak, he is strong. And I know that I'm not the only one that deals with that. But, we're human, right? That's why we have to go to the Father, before I get into this news, because I keep seeing Diddy's face on my phone. Today was cool. I worked out. Worried about some little dumb stuff. We're almost to the finish line with this house stuff, y'all, and I'm telling you, it is driving me a little nutty, which I knew it would. I knew it would not be always easy. The polarity of the negative and positive, the sacrifice without success, you can't have it. So I get it, but it has been some days just be like, I just want it to be over. I just want it to be over. I'm so sick of it. I just want to be normal again. What does that mean in this world? I don't know. Does anybody face normality anymore? I don't know. But I just needed some encouragement, and I just want y'all to stay encouraged yourselves, no matter what you're going through. Give it to God, because that is why we serve him. Diddy is friends with TD Jakes, and I hope that he has reached out to him, because Diddy got a lot going on, y'all. The FBI, Homeland Security, all of them raided his house. Miami, Cali, they arrested 2 of his sons. Like, it's going down for Diddy, and I'm not going to say I'm surprised. If you've listened to me speak, you've heard me say 100 million times that Diddy is no Diddy. He's going to be, something going on with the man. It's like, take that. I think he's going to be living to regret those sentences. Diddy, I ain't never liked you. I ain't gonna lie. And I know that's crazy after listening to a sermon, but it's just something about him that just rubs me the wrong way. It always has. And I hope he makes right with whatever he's done. Nobody's perfect at all. But every dog got its day. They were tracking his private jet to Antigua right now. So he's on the beach, probably stressed, but I've never experienced that. But must be nice to just pick up on your private plane. It's called Love Air, of all things. And they've been tracking him. He's in Antigua right now, laying low until, I don't know, the man come get him. I don't know. But Diddy got some issues, y'all. We'll see what shakes out of this. He's lived a good life, so I don't feel bad for him at all. He's been rich. He's had so much, and I hope that whatever happens, he learns his lesson and pays his debt to society, whoever that may be. Cause something ain't right with you, Diddy. I've been knowing that, though. Anybody that always wear them shades, I just don't trust. Yeah, that's been the biggest news today is this Diddy stuff. A New York high school volleyball coach accused of raping student athlete 15 takes own life by walking in front of a train. Well, dang. He was like, I'm not going to jail. Sucks that guy don't get justice. He killed an entire branch of our family tree. Man who massacred neighborhood's entire family after the teen allegedly exposed himself to wife and daughter learns his fate. 32-year-old man in Idaho will spend the rest of his life behind bars for breaking into his neighbor's home and killing 4 family members, including 2 teenagers, on Father's Day in order to execute vengeance after one of the teens allegedly exposed themselves to his wife and daughter. Dang. He snapped after the 18-year-old victim allegedly exposed herself and young daughter in December, pleaded guilty for 4 counts of second-degree murder over a violent rampage. During the trial, he just said he was killing him. It's sad because I can understand his rage, but man, that's sad. Jennifer Lopez is getting relentlessly mocked for her documentary. I still ain't watched it and don't have any desire. I think I'll just enjoy the memes from afar. A family is suing Delta Airlines after their 13-year-old daughter was sexually assaulted when she was separated from her family. So this little girl was on a plane with her family. It was like a red eye at night, and she was 2 rows behind him, and some guy was drunk, and they kept serving him. I guess he groped her or something, and he was walking through groping himself, and nobody really did anything about it at all. Even when he got off the plane, he was allowed to leave. So yeah, they definitely have every right to sue. So this man repeatedly called his son's school about the homework, and he was arrested. And the story was funny because I can kind of relate. Some of them homework assignments y'all be given, they trash. I be feeling like, why is this a thing? Because sometimes schools, I be like, what is this for? Because most people are not stay-at-home parents. So how much work are you really giving? I remember my son, for example, he had to do the phases of the moon, waxing, waning, all this crap. He wasn't going to remember none of this stuff. And who was going to have to help him with this? Because the dude was only in the 1st grade or something. It's like, so who's got to do all this? Help him shade in? And how many hours am I supposed to dedicate to these projects and work my jobs? I mean, I get it. Kids are a responsibility, but I have complaints on that. But that's not why he got arrested. He got arrested because the school started blocking him. And so then he called the police on the school for not answering his call. And so, yeah, they came and arrested him. So he got arrested because he called the police because the school went there. So he almost wanted to get arrested. Euphoria season 3 has been delayed indefinitely as cancellation rumors swirl. I really don't know how they could bring back the show. So many people's left. The one guy died. I don't see how it's going to be possible. 50 Cent clowns Diddy after his home's raided. I was wondering when 50 Cent was going to poke his head out again. He said stuff is getting real now that the Homeland Security's involved. There is a $2 billion Mega Millions waiting to be grabbed. Hopefully it's one of you or me. That's what I would like to be. I would like it to be me. A 6-year-old was swept away by Chester Creek now, a recovery mission. I guess the creek flooded or something, I'm assuming. I don't know how she got in the water. So on Sunday, they were still searching for her. They just want her body to be found. She was first reported in the water on Saturday. She had fallen into the water around 7 p.m. 2 girls were playing by the water when she slipped on mud and fell into the creek. Sad. That's sad. It's gonna change those kids' lives forever. Ecuador's youngest mayor found shot to death alongside a staffer. That's crazy. Newark mom and her boyfriend guilty of murder after beating their 5-year-old boy, then leaving him unconscious. Then they took their daughter to the mall shopping. This is terrible. Whoever remembers this Superman? It's crazy how he ended up in a wheelchair. This Texas man snuck onto a flight using a photo of a kid's ticket. I guess the kid dropped their ticket or something. He wasn't even smart enough to just go download the app and put it on there and download it to his phone. He just wasn't even smart enough. Where was he trying to go? Diddy's now back in Miami after being in Antigua. Something got to shake loose with all this Diddy stuff. I don't know what they up to, but something is shaking loose. Mom begs for cash after accidentally shooting and killing her daughter while fishing for keys in her purse. The heck? Tennessee mom accidentally discharged her pistol and killed her teenage daughter while fishing for keys in her purse is now asking for donations for the girl's funeral. The girl was only 13. Sad. Alright, let's see here. Somebody said Chick-fil-A is lowering their standards. Applebee's is giving out Bacardi buckets. Applebee's would always have those bottomless drinks. People love it. That's why Applebee's stays in business, some drinks. DeSantis just signed one of the country's strictest bans on kids' social media, so pretty much it's saying like kids under 14 can't get on. So this law will take effect January 1st next year. Ban social media accounts for all children under 14 and requires that 15 and 16-year-olds get parental consent to have accounts. Social media platforms will be required to terminate accounts in violation of the law. So they about to be really strict. I'm not mad at this law, honestly. I don't believe... Unfortunately, adults ruin every little app for kids. I mean, look at TikTok. It started out as a kids app, and it's morphed into something completely different. And even Roblox, some of these things, it's just like, Let's look at another site. There's Diddy pacing around the airport after 2 federal raids. He left Antigua, came back. I thought I was stressing today. Bob Barker's historic estate is up for sale for $2 million. Is the price right? A California man appears to go full zombie walking around biting a human leg. People on drugs and with mental disorders are to me, the zombies of today, for sure. No disrespect to people with mental disorders, but they be in their own little world. I think we didn't read everything on this one. Let's see what else we got. There's going to be a lot of Diddy news today. The lawyers for Cassie and Rodney Little Rod Jones released statements just saying they hope that justice is served. Just rolling through these sites because all of them are kind of repetitive news. Alright, let's see what Dear Abby's yapping about. Dear Abby, I keep taking my anger out on my wonderful husband because we can't have kids. I'm 34 and recently found out I have started menopause. I knew it might come early for me because most women in my family begin in their 30s and were done by 50. I have no biological children and now probably never will. I guess I waited too long for the right time, the right person, etc. I was always careful to use birth control when I became sexually active and never left it up to my partner. I am now having a hard time coping with this feeling of loss. I know I shouldn't be grieving. Thinking about it, I'm angry at myself for missing out. I've been married to a wonderful man for almost 2 years, but we have been together for 10. I wanted to be married and financially stable before having children. I feel like I'm being punished. My poor husband takes the brunt of my frustration and anger, which isn't fair. I apologize when it happens, but I find myself slowly drifting into isolation because of it. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm sad, angry, frustrated, and empty. I wish I had an answer for anyone who understands, so just hear me. Any advice? Grieving in Oregon. Dear Grieving, your feelings are understandable. It's time to seek counseling for help to stop blaming your husband and cope with your feelings of sadness, anger, and frustration. Once that is done, it may be time to consider your options for fulfilling your maternal instincts. This includes fostering, adoption, surrogacy, volunteer mentoring. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I can't even imagine. Because any advice to people that are trying to find the right time to have kids, it really is never a right time. Now, if you don't have your own place to live and like a decent job, like when I say decent, like that you could probably feed yourself and a dog, because even if you have a great job, something can happen to that job and then fall apart. But you just need to be in a mental capacity to where you could take care of somebody. That's the first, to me, key to parenting. Yes, financial is definitely important, but it don't come. That kind of stuff when people are like, I need to plan the right time to be financially stable. In today's world, I don't think there's a right time. You need to be out of your parents' house, like I said, have your own shelter and have a job. I would say you should be on your job for at least 2 to 3 years with some good benefits, because you're gonna need health insurance. If you have those things, that's fine. But waiting for this perfect cookie cutter moment to have kids is just not it. If you really want to be a mother, and then if you knew everybody in your family would start menopause early, why did you wait? You know? But in today's world of science and everything, you can still have a child, like, if you wanted to, but like she said, surrogacy or fostering or something like that. You really still want to be a mother, but I know it's gonna probably suck. I mean, that's the negative part about when you're married to somebody and they're going through something. That spouse can take the brunt of your frustrations. You just have to, it's hard. It's like a ping pong match with your partner all the time. So, just expressing that to your partner. But like she said, you definitely have to get some therapy if it's coming to the point where you're just completely just angry all the time. And, because there's a fix. You just have to figure out, the sacrifice for success aspect of it. I mean, you can have a child. It's just, how do you want to have that child? But being a parent myself, I would never say what it's like to not have children, but I'm telling you, having a child, it ain't easy. It ain't. 3 years ago, I discovered I was being excluded by my coworkers. I have tried to not let it bother me, but it's starting to wear me down emotionally. I work in a dental office with a staff of 7 women. I have worked with them for almost 20 years, and I always thought we had a friendship because we would go to lunch together and occasionally do things outside of work. 3 years ago, I learned that they have a group chat with 2 of the other women and have gotten together outside of work and don't include me. What bothers me the most is they laugh and talk in front of me about the funny memes and videos they send each other. I'm tired of being excluded, and I don't understand why they have done it. We all get along, so I'm not sure what's happening. Apart in Illinois. Dear part, folks are entitled to socialize or not with anyone they would like. However, to treat you the way they've been seems insensitive, born on rude, and you have every right to say to the next time say something the next time it happens. It may lead to a difficult discussion, but you have a right to tell them how it affects you. Do not depend on your coworkers to be personal friends, which may not be possible. I encourage you to cultivate social relationships outside of the office. I agree. If people aren't welcoming you in a clique, be okay with not being welcome in that clique. Sometimes it's good not knowing everybody in every situation, because that comes with more people's problems. The friends I've had, the people I truly call friends are friends I've had like forever, and I would consider none of them my coworkers. And even people I meet along the way, they're cool, but these are more people, more things, and yes, it all may seem fun, but there's other stuff going on in that group that you might be a blessing of them excluding you from it, especially at work. Like, girl, no way. No, ma'am, Pam. I think we're gonna hop into these Reddits, because other than that, besides the Diddy news, really ain't nothing going on. Let's see. What are the cons of not having kids? Interesting question. I've noticed that I have a very different sense of time passing since I'm not attached to the school calendar. I tend to not notice it passing as much, and then abruptly it just seems to catch up to me. If someone breaks in your house, you only have yourself to... if something breaks in your house, you only have yourself to blame. According to my dad, if he didn't have kids, no one would talk to him, which is true. Who else would grab the remote? Can't use kids as an excuse to get out of social engagements you don't want to go to. That is... Having a kid excuse is the perfect excuse. Work, social engagements, all the above. That is good. Kids for that is great. You run out of people to tell your 4 funny stories to and your 6 jokes. No one to avenge your death or finish your life's work. In general, you lose all your friends who have kids. Parents socialize with kids, etc. You weren't invited, so you miss out. Eventually, you stop getting invited to most things because you're just not around enough to be planned in. You keep having to either dodge a question or explain why you don't have kids when it's nobody's business. You don't experience the joy of a second childhood. I'm childless by choice, but I love seeing my niece's excitement over the holidays and vacation. My brother loves playing Santa for the kid and seeing the joy of Christmas morning. My grandpa always jokes that hanging out with me was like having a third childhood because we'd always do fun things together. Listen, nieces and nephews come in handy. I have a lot of those too, so... And actually, sometimes it's better to spoil other people's kids because then you don't have to worry about them being your own spoiled. I love being an auntie. What is something you consider disgusting but others consider sexy? I've only seen this in porn because if anyone ever tried this on me, it would be over in a second. But when people do anal and then back to vaginal sex, I want to vomit. Yeah, that's disgusting. My ex-husband unfortunately did that to me without my consent, and I got an absolute worst UTI. Girl, you should have stopped him as soon as he was going in that hole. You should have been like, hold up, player. You're getting crazy. Butt implants. I'm amazed by how people think it's attractive. Step siblings, parent porn. I don't know why there's so much of this. 80% of porns are stepsis or stepdaddy. BBLs. Swingers. I'd absolutely be mortified to see my partner with someone else. I feel like swinging, the smell of it all. It's a lot of smells going on in there. Sex clubs, period, just disgusts me, the thought of it. What's a way that you've broken the law that you feel no remorse for? I'd never read that. I'd never say that, but I'm going to read what you guys did. It's a felony to intentionally throw away someone else's junk mail. Consider that my confession on behalf of everyone in this thread. Pirating shows that are unattainable in a legal way. This hotel I worked at was too cheap to have a maintenance at night, so during my shift, a water line blew in the kitchen and flooded the hotel, doing $100,000 in damage. The GM had everybody blame me, even though I wasn't trained in how to get the water off of the mechanical room. People were being ruthless to me, so I returned the favor. For the next 3 months, I peed on the ballroom carpet every night. You the reason these hotels and places be smelling like pee, huh? They blamed it for mold. You was really mad. Ripped the tag off my mattress. Yes, that's illegal. Drugs. I committed time theft less than a year ago by taking an hour nap while on the clock. Wow. I was a homeless teenager, so I stole ketchup packets from McDonald's to make soup with. That's it. Receiving a speeding citation from a speed trap going 3 miles an hour over speed limit. This stuff needs to stop in the U.S. I agree. Using sites to watch movies. I feel like if you pay for the internet, is it really stealing? Because you pay for the internet, and if you have the ability to go to a site to watch a movie, is it really stealing? Because you're not downloading it. Like, you're paying for the internet. I'm asking for a friend. Honestly, I steal a lot of my groceries because I'm 20, living alone, and supporting myself on an income of $16 an hour. I feel like kind of bad, but I'm scared of being caught most of the time, but I really can't afford groceries sometimes, but I only steal food. I pay for everything else and out of all my non-essentials. $16 an hour would be a dream for me at that age. But I grew up in this was like early 2000s, $16 an hour would have been a dream salary. Every day I speed over the limits. Jaywalking, I hate that jaywalking law. Giving homeless people food, yeah. I don't know why we can't do that. What food names sound like sex position, cucumbers, kumquat, banana splits, pigs in a blanket, cream pie, lady fingers, sloppy joe, hot pocket, pulled pork, jerk chicken, butternut squash, Tootsie Roll, twisted pretzel, chimichanga, a blooming onion, sounds like a lot, ramen, meatloaf, so just pretty much all of them. Adults of Reddit, what is something about the newer generation that you can't seem to stand? The hoodies in the summer gotta be it for me. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Recording yourself crying, very strange as well. The emails I get from my students age 18 to 25 are such a mess of incoherent garbage. I can't tell if they're lazy or if it's actual literacy issue. And I'm barely older. I think it's not. I think it's these kids nowadays don't like using proper sentences. One, because it's really not taught anymore. So they just kind of put words together and it should be like, what? Why do you want to watch 100% of a concert that you pay good money for through your phone lens? True. If I go to a concert, I'm going to record a little bit, but I'm really going to be in the moment as well. But you do want to play back some of it, but not 100%. Everything seems to have a label, not just people, groups, but as well, yes. This generation, your clothes, your food, your behavior, like everything is some label of something. I think the heteronormative was once something I heard the other day. It's so heteronormative, like, it's boring hetero people. Taking public calls on a speakerphone and sending voice messages. Yeah, it's all confusing. What's your type when it comes to a significant other? Clean, thoughtful, funny, polite. Intelligence. Stubborn. Loyal. Somebody said tall guys with big feet because reasons. That's a myth, right? She gotta be pretty, a sex freak, and loyal, and add value to my life, and have great hygiene, and have no kids or STDs. So yeah. So a mythical creature. Alright, let's get into the Am I the A-holes? Am I the a-hole for sleeping with my frenemy on my wedding day? For reference, this happened 5 years ago, but I was confronted about it recently. I'm a very boring person, and this literally was the only dramatic thing that was ever happened in my life. 6 years ago, my fiance proposed to me. I was thrilled. We had a beautiful wedding, intimate. I've always gotten along with his friends and family. His mother adores me. We've disagreed, but we didn't argue. We found ways to resolve our problems inside and out. We were a great couple. I never thought he would literally leave me at the altar. Our family's friends and even the officiator kept trying to reassure me, but also almost 2 hours after the ceremony was supposed to start, I got a call saying he got cold feet and didn't want to get married. He wanted to get more out of life before being tied down. I did some things I'm not proud of. I begged my mom to get me out of the dress, and I tore the stupid thing. I left the wedding after everyone kept looking at me with pitiful eyes. I fended off a lot of calls from friends and family telling me that I was fine and I didn't want to talk. Here's the thing I was called an a-hole for. I have a friend of me. We've known each other since middle school. He's always been a class clown bully. I was not attractive growing up, and he would jokingly flirt with me and try to annoy me as much as possible. He never really grew out of either of those things, so when he called to check up on me, or really to rub it in my face that I was dating a loser who dumped me on my wedding day, he asked if I wanted to hook up with him. I said yes. That's how you have to know you at the lowest of your low, because you can let your bully call you and be like, since your life sucks, you want to hook up with me? I said yes because my life was ruined anyways. What could be worse? He picked me up and we slept together. He's the second person I had been with, the first being my fiance. It wasn't religious. I just saw it as special that we weren't each other's first and only. My fiance evidently didn't feel the same. I blocked my fiance, as did the rest of my family. His mom profusely apologized and said his late father would never approve of what he did. My now ex-fiance contacted me recently. He wanted closure. He said he apologized for ghosting me, but he immediately said that it didn't justify me sleeping with someone else the night of our wedding. I told him it wasn't a healthy thing to do, but I've gotten comments from his friends that I acted badly and they would have left me too. Girl, number one, you slept with him on the night of your wedding. Why'd you answer his calls after of everybody else's? That was that devil on your shoulder. But I wouldn't even ever talk to my ex-fiance again. Somebody said night of your wedding, you didn't have a wedding. He gets no say in it. You're not the a-hole. If he wanted your loyalty, he shouldn't have left you at the altar. For sure, there's no way you should even be talking to him on the phone. My ex-fiance tried to get my wife to cheat on me. I think my ex-fiance, Jess, who's a female, might have tried to get my wife, Olivia, drunk and cheat on me. My wife thinks I am overreacting and overthinking the whole situation. So this is obviously a lesbian relationship. Can someone tell me if I was the a-hole, Olivia stop being friends with Jess and asked Olivia to stop being friends with Jess immediately? For context, Jess and I started dating during the sophomore year of college. We met through mutual friends, connected instantly. She was charming and outgoing and made friends instantly everywhere we went. I'm more shy and nerdy, but I enjoy going out to parties with her. We got engaged on our graduation day, and as both of our families were attending, I got a job in a big tech company right after college. This is when our relationship started going downhill. Jess was at an art major and had trouble finding a job. She did a bunch of freelance work and mostly worked from home. I was overwhelmed with work. She always wanted to go out to bars and I wanted to rest in the evening. I was okay with her going out with friends and alone. I would sometimes tag on the weekends. It bothered me that she was still in the party phase. She complained that I was becoming boring and should enjoy my 20s before settling down. I was also not happy the friends she hung out with, as there was a lot of drinking and drug use. Even when I went out with her friends, she would be extremely flirty with guys in the bar and yada yada. Her excuses always said she gets flirty when she gets drunk. I had enough and decided to call off the engagement after 2 years, as we were just different people at that point. The breakup was messy and she kept trying to get back with me me for almost a year. There were some incidences where Jess may not have acted in her best judgment, and I blocked her from all my social media. I did not want to deal with the drama, yada yada. This is when I started dating my wife, Olivia. My wife was the exact opposite of Jess. She was very soft-spoken and homebody like me. She knew I was engaged before. We dated 3 years and happily married for 2 years now. However, one of the sticking points we always had was my Thursday nights. 3 of my closest college friends are now scattered all over the country, and we generally play a video game together on Thursday evenings. About 6 months ago, Elizabeth told me she got a Facebook invite for a group where they had paintings and wine nights, etc. It was mostly 8 to 10 women who got together. One of the women was Jess, but I did not think much of it. 2 weeks ago, Olivia told me it was Jess's birthday and I wanted to be at a ladies' nightclub together. Olivia hates some loud music, but Jess convinced her to come for dinner and some drinks. On that night, I got a call from Olivia at 10 asking me if I could come and pick her up. I could tell something was wrong and immediately left to pick her up. I went to the bar and went to pick up Olivia. I was shocked when I realized that her friend Jess was my ex-fiance. She also looked surprised to see me there. It was polite and said hello to everyone, but Olivia wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. After we went to the car, I told Olivia that Jess was my ex-fiance, whom I had not seen in 7 years. Olivia was shocked to hear it, and she did not know about it. It was crazy. I did not even know she lived in the same city as us. Olivia told me Jess was the one who started the pain group. She had divorced her husband 2 years ago and moved to our city for a fresh start. The reason she called me was because she was getting uncomfortable with the situation at the bar. Since Jess and another woman were single, they kept encouraging guys, hitting on them and inviting them to their table. Jess was trying to get everyone drunk and was asking Olivia to open up and have fun, just constantly hyping up Olivia, blah, blah, blah. I'm not happy with the situation, but I'm also not mad at Olivia. I'm just uncomfortable with Olivia hanging out with Jess. I told Olivia about this about the same. Olivia told me that she was never going to put herself in that situation again with Jess or anyone else. Also, this friend group is only real social, so she has been since we were together. She does not want to stop going to her painting nights, whatever. She just said, don't judge Jess. I mean, she didn't get her girl to cheat on you. I mean, she's just that kind of girl. I mean, is this not the a-hole type of situation? I mean, if your wife want to keep hanging with that group, that's on her. You made it like this girl intentionally sought out your wife to make her cheat, but it seems like she didn't even know it. Not the a-hole, though. You really should call Jessica for being trash. Even if she didn't know it was you, she was still trying to get a woman in a relationship to flirt with, possibly sleep with random guys. Yep, but they all grown. She got to learn to pick her friends. She's a big girl. She got to be like, these girls ain't for me. Your wife called you to come get her. I think that's a really good sign, and now you've warned her, and she can decide. Yep, she got to decide for herself. Let's read one more before my throat completely collapses. Why do your boyfriend know you got the same lingerie? Am I the a-hole for wearing the same lingerie with my boyfriend as I've worn with my ex? Why does he know that? That's my question. You just go through the drawer like, yeah, I had this with my ex. Some of my underwear are older than my children. And I don't still wear them, but I just got sentimental values to them things. They're old and droopy, you know? I'm the a-hole for refusing to get back together with my ex-husband. I was married for 7 years after I got pregnant for my ex-husband on the third year of dating. My parents insisted that the baby needs both parents, and after a lot of pressure, I agreed to marry him while I was 7 months pregnant. Since then, he cheated on me with different women. He manipulated and gaslit me and my family to a point where my own biological mother didn't believe a word when I told her I was suffering. Eventually, he got a job somewhere else and moved in with a waitress he met in the first month he worked there. This woman had 2 kids and none were his, but left me with barely a 2-year-old to fend for myself. I wasn't working and had no income, so I had to depend on my folks until I could take care of my son. In order to get the other woman, he lied about how badly I treated him and our child, and even claimed that I was an alcoholic and a whore whose parents had been thrown out and they took my child. He later got another job out of the country. For 7 months, he blocked any communication from me and my side of the family. He never supported me and his baby in any way, and all this time until my son started school. The fiance reached out to me to coax me into giving her my son, since she had been told that he was being neglected. This was another lie. I guess he had a fiance that reached out to her. I don't know. We finally had a woman-to-woman talk, and I told her that she had been lied to and everything that man said was a lie, which I had evidence. I was brokenhearted. A few months earlier, he started talking to me and begged me to take him back because he missed our family. I had been adamantly refusing, but he had almost managed to talk me into it and take him back before she reached out to me. After knowing all his lies, we confronted him, and he said that he would be catering for the child's school fees and upkeep as long as he gets to talk to his child. I agreed to co-parenting, but made it clear that me and him were done. 2 years down the line, he claims that he already broke up with the other woman and wants to rebuild what he had. In truth, she dumped him after he cheated on her with another woman. He thinks that I don't know. Financially, he has been present, and he has been simping into my inbox almost every day and has tried to show me that he has mended his ways. He now wants to move in with me and his child to where he lives now, but deep down, I can't seem to let go of his past mistakes. I want to find happiness with someone who will value me, but I think that my baby needs his father. Am I the a-hole for refusing? No, and you need therapy, because this dude is completely a habitual liar. He didn't lie to so many people and you still giving him a chance. He's never gonna change. This man didn't tell too many lies. Like, you need to find a healthy relationship. You've never been in one. Give that to yourself. If you get in a healthy relationship, then you can think about that dude, which is a terrible idea, but no. Somebody said the actual F woman. Imagine your child all grown up. Imagine your child in the same situation you're in now. How would you counsel them? Because that's essentially what's happening here. You are modeling how relationships work for your child. If you don't want your child to find the same kind of treatment, and I truly hope you don't know what you need to do. Get a court order for child support from this chump, this chump ASS gutter nugget, and yeet him into the sun. Perfect. Then therapy to work on your self-esteem so your child can see what self-worth looks like. I wish you the very best. That's the best advice that you can give, because girl, you need some help. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all. It's been fun. My esophagus is about to collapse. I gotta go. Y'all stay safe.